Hello and welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see the demo for OSPF. So first of all, we will see the basic OSPF. Later on, we will discuss about the advanced OSPF as well. So, say this. Before that, OSPF, we need to understand the IP addresses. Again, I'll take the same example as we are taking it. Like we have two different routers, and this both the routers has already configured with an IP address of LAN interfaces where 192.168.1.0 and here it is 2.0 network. The IP addresses are also from the same and the default gateway. You can see that you have between the routers. This is what my network 10.1 and 10.2 which is configured here. So right now my IP addresses are already configured in this topology. I will go ahead and do the routing configuration. Before that, consider this is my source system and this is my destinations. I want to have the communications. So if I go ahead and try ping to 192.168.2.3 as destination, definitely I will get the destination host unreachable. No communications until and unless you set up the routing protocol here, correct? Say this, let us check it out. So first of all, I'll go to this PC. I'll go to this PC and click on desktop, command prompt, and ping to my destination 192.168.2.3, correct? Just ping it. See, destination host unreachable, no communication since there is no routing itself, so for sure no communication here. So the next point, I'll go to this routers and configure the OSPF here. Before that, a quick point that we need to focus, that I'm going to keep this all the routers in one of the OSPF area. Say this. Consider this is basically my OSPF domain, OSPF process ID 1, let's say I will keep, and I'll keep the area as area 0. Make sure area ID should match between the routers, then only they will form the neighbor relation SIP. So that's what I'm going to keep. This both the router 1 and router 2, both I will keep into the OSPF area 0 only. Let's do that. So I'll go to this router, click on CLI, and now start the configuration here. See, enable. So first of all, show IP interface brief. You can verify interfaces are already configured. So I will go ahead and configure the OSPF now. Configure terminal, router OSPF process ID can be anything like 1 2 3 4 5 till up to 65,536, anything you can keep. So I'm keeping 1. Then I'll have to keep network which is directly connected to my LAN interfaces is 1.0 and wildcard mask, and then area and area ID is 0. This is how you need to configure. I have one more network, 10.0.0.0, and wildcard mask will be this, since it is, say this, /8 in the sense, this will be my wildcard mask, and area is 0. Done. That's it. This is what my configurations I need to perform. Exit. This is the configuration in one of the routers. Now in another routers, see, I'll come back to different router and do the configuration here as well. So enable, configure terminal, router OSPF process ID. If I want to configure router ID, I can provide like this, router ID. Done. And then I will say network 192.168.2.0 and then area 0. Another network we have this, and then area 0. Exit. Show IP OSPF neighbor. See, as of now no neighbor. Oh, I can see the neighbor now. See, this is my neighbor router ID. Right now if you see in router 1 we haven't configured any router ID. That's the main reason. In this router 1 no router ID configured, no loopback is present. That's where it is taking highest physical IP address as a router ID for this. So physical IP address of router 10.1 is configured to serial and 192.168.1.100 is configured to fast Ethernet. So yes, this is going to be my router ID. If I go to this router and verify the same, show IP OSPF neighbor, you will find 2.2.2 is the neighbor here because we have configured the neighbor router ID command manually in that router. Fine. After that, couple of information like priority, state, dead interval, your addresses, interfaces, you can see here. So far you have one more table, show IP OSPF database. You see in OSPF database table, your routers maintain the entire view of the topology here. For example, right now I have two routers running into the area 0. So I will have only two entries available in my database table. One is generated by router 1, another is generated by router 2. Say for example, if I am having 10 routers, I will have 10 entry available here. If I have thousands of router, thousands of entries will be there because every routers will generate this particular update, and this same database table you will find into all of your routers within the area. So that's where we call it as they maintains the same database table within the area. That's nothing but entire view of your topology. Now after this, show IP route is the major one. As you can see in this OSPF, for OSPF O, you see here there is an update O to 192.168.2.0, and this is my administrative distance AD, and this is cost. This is cost. So what is cost and how this cost gets calculated? As we have already discussed, cost is the metric for OSPF, and to calculate this, the formula is 10 power 8 divided by bandwidth in bits per second, as we already discussed this, correct? Now this is what your 2.0 is present in this router 1. Similarly, if I go to this router 2, I will find 1.0 as a OSPF update here. Say for example, I will go ahead and verify, show IP route. See, in this 1.0 is present, administrative distance 110 and metric is 65. Done. So both the routers has got the update now. Now if I go to this particular router, PC, and try to ping again with the same as we did, definitely I will get the response here. Let us check it out. See, the communication is possible. I am getting the response here, correct? Similarly, if I try to ping, let's say destination to source, so I'll go to this, I'll go to desktop, command prompt, and I'll ping to any of the PCs which is running in this. Let's say 1.1.3. 1.3 means PC number 2. 1.3 is the IP address configured on PC number 2, and yes, I am getting the response here. This is how you can configure the OSPF and you can verify the OSPF. So this is putting the end of this lecture. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.